What's cracking, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. I'm here for episode number 101 with my dude, the Moroccan Devil, Youssef Zalal. How you doing, Youssef?
Pretty good, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it. I didn't know it was 101. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I can't even remember what the first episode it was that you were on, but it was like, couldn't have been much more than 10 for the original ones. Like,
I think so. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was
damn,
early on,
damn.
man. Time is flown by, brother. 3 years later, here we are, still rocking.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Right?
Crazy thing about it.
But, so, a big part of why you're stopping by today, Short Notice King, you step in on basically a week's notice, but like 8 days notice?
Yep, I got the call in contract on Thursday.
Yeah, so you essentially you have 8 days notice to be able to make weight, go through COVID protocol, get all your medicals, all your T's crossed, I's dotted, everything in the process before heading off to Vegas for fight week. So I don't know how you do it. You did it multiple times all throughout last year. You made your debut on about a week's notice. Then you fought your next fight with like 2 weeks notice. The next one was barely any. And it was finally your fourth fight of the year last year in the UFC where you had a full camp. And oddly enough, the opponent that pulled out is the opponent that you're actually going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Seung Woo Choi, like I don't want to be disrespectful.
I think that's what it calls.
Like,
Seung Woo Choi. Yeah.
I just don't want to be disrespectful, and if I'm saying your name wrong, my man, I do sincerely apologize. It's not out of any sort of ill intent, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy that you've already had a significant amount of prep time for this opponent. That it must not seem like you're coming in on such short notice.
No, like you said, it's like we were training 8 weeks for this guy. So like for me, it was like I already game planned 8 weeks for this guy. So for us to, when they switched the opponent on us, we just like, whatever, it is what it is. It's 8 days, whatever it is. Like, we got to do what we got to do. But after that, like, when they offered him to my teammate, and I was like, why don't I just take the fight? Like, that's what coach and manager and everybody's saying. Like, why don't I just give it to Youssef? He's like, no, we wanted like a newer guy to fight and all that. So I was like, I thought the fight was off. Like, I'm not fighting. I was like, whatever, But as soon as I heard I might have an opportunity to hop on, and I was like, might as well do it. I was like, I have 8 weeks for train for him already. So and I've been just training, and I like to train just to pop off happen. But I don't like to really just put all that pressure on in an 8-week camp.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the mental aspect of a long camp, I'm sure, is one thing. But my man over here is like, man, Tesla just came out with a new performance version of a car. Like, I gotta go out there. I gotta give me a fight. Gotta give me a bonus. I'm trying to pick up that new Tesla, bro.
Yeah, true. But I gotta be smarter. I feel like I'm like a kid on a candy store right now. So like, I don't want to be too stupid right now. But yeah, like you said, man, I love Teslas. Teslas are I think one of the best cars in the world.
I'm pretty sure that you could probably head to any Tesla lot in the world and you could sell Teslas right now. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this man is like a walking like dictionary or encyclopedia, whatever you want to call it. Like, he is a walking manual for Tesla operations of their vehicles. Like, oh yeah, this motherfucker right here, this one will fly off the line and do this.
Oh, right.
This one will do this. This one has this option. This one does that. Oh, if you want this package, you got to pay this extra amount. Like, bro, you could get on the lot right now and you could flip those.
Shit, I don't know. Maybe after fighting, I'll work for Tesla. Who knows? Shit, hit me up, Elon Musk. I'll tell him. But yeah, man, we'll see. I don't know. Yes, I just love that car, man. And if I love something very much, like I really just kind of like study it so much, and I kind of like I want to know about it. I want to know everything about it.
I feel like though, like you have and maybe that's just that's why you're so great at what you do for your profession anyway. Like, when you talk to some of the great athletes, your Peyton Mannings, Tom Brady's, those sorts of the world from other walks of life, they can acutely remember detail that almost nobody else. Like, you're like, how the hell do you remember this much?
Yeah.
And I feel like that just kind of speaks to like your mind frame. Like, well, you remember all of these things. Like, you remember like every last little detail of like everything that's important to you. I feel like there's just not a lot of people that can bridge that mental synapse connection to, okay, like, yes, I know this, I've seen this before, and I can actually recall this information when I need to call upon it.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, it's like more about like, oh, okay, like this is my, like, I want to, like, when I be old and like done and stuff like that, like this is the memories that's very important to me, like the stuff that I enjoy doing and I really loved, and that's what I take it as, you know. And I'm like, when I get old, I'm like, oh man, yeah, oh man, this I drove one of the best cars, I fought one of the best guys, trained with the best guys, like kind of this technique has always got in my head and stuff like that, you know, and kind of get stuck with it and really just, like you said, detail, just enjoy that detail.
Definitely. So I do want to ask you, we've talked a lot about your story and everything that brought you to this point in the past, but I want to talk to you about what was the thought process of going through that many fights in 1 year. Basically, like you had one of the most active rookie campaigns of anybody in the UFC.
Crazy actually. I was going through like I told you before, it's kind of like a movie, you know. And I was like, I was not even know, like I almost didn't believe it almost, you know. And I was like, God, that's why I have coaches and all that tell me like, yeah, you should believe it. You worked your butt off to be where you at and stuff like that. But for me, and I was like, wow, like I went from looking for a fight to having a UFC debut, and then everything shuts down. I'm like, oh God, like. I was like, if everything shuts down, at least I had my UFC fight, you know. It is what it is, you know. But after all that, like, opportunities were just coming in, and then I could see, I was like, holy shit, like, this opportunity's coming. So, like, might as well just go take them. And then that really just, yeah, I didn't realize it until, like, the last fight. And I was like, oh, God, like, this is crazy. Like, we did have a hell of a year, you know, and kind of crazy push to the year. And again, like, I'm young, man. Who cares? Like, that's what I say. Who cares? This is nothing, you know. Like, we wanted more. Like, I wanted to fight more after the last fight, but what can you do? You know, you can just go on to the next one now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this will probably, though. I mean, is it fair to say that this is probably going to be the last one before the summertime with Ramadan and everything? With that creeping up, or if they can get you something maybe in like late March, early April after this. I'm just thinking like your timeline with it, you know, giving yourself a little rest in between.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like last time I fought, when I fought Jordan Griffin, it was like I took that on 7 days. Literally 4 weeks later, I fought again. So it's like, who knows? You know, I would love to fight before Ramadan, but if it is, it isn't. It is, you know, whatever we can do. But I definitely want to fight before Ramadan, and that's my goal. That's always my goal. You know, it's like if I fight and I go in, and especially when I don't get hurt and stuff like that, and I feel like I've been blessed enough with that to go and fight and not get really damaged, like so much damage that like you can easily go fight the next fight. So that's where I'm at, and that's where my mentality was at for my whole fights.
Definitely. So physically, now that you've committed to staying at that 145 mark, last year when you got the call, you were still kind of keeping yourself in the range of potentially being able to make bantamweight. You were keeping your weight a lot lower at that point. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Because that was still the thought process.
Yeah.
How does it feel now that you've committed to this weight class and you're starting to kind of grow into your body? You know, I mean, you're still young. You're only 24 years old. You're starting to kind of grow into your grown man body. You know, you're reaching that muscle maturity. You're getting a chance to see your body fully develop without having to stay so restricted on the caloric intake.
Yeah. It was weird, right? So, like, for us to go from, like, okay, like, there's few people that thought potentially I go 35. I was not really into like 35, you know. And I was like, if I really got
you hated.
I was like, I was gonna go like if somebody can convince me, like, oh, I get my ass fucking just beat bad, you know, like out strength and all that, like then that's a different story, you know. But it's like it's not really haven't been that happened to me. So it was like for me that kind of motivates me to kind of stay at that weight class. And like I tell people, like, I still cut weight. Like, I'm not, it's not an easy cut. Like, a lot of people think, like, it's an easy cut. No, it's not. Last 3 fights, I cut from 160 to 145 and, like, stuff like that. So, for me, like, I'm still cutting weight, you know? It's like, but it's just more, way lesser than 35, obviously. But But like you said, like when you start finding the groove for your body at 145, like you're getting it going. You know, we don't have to focus on so much on just lifting weights. We did that last camp, and kind of like, okay, slow things down now. You know, go back to what we're good at, normal things. You know, and kind of just do the normal things. We don't need to change a whole lot. You know.
Yeah.
And that's where the coaches are at, and that's where I feel like I'm at.
You've always been very methodical about your approach, so especially I feel like more than a lot of guys are at such a young age. I mean, you have your nutrition, your training, your programming, all that coordinated amongst Tyler with your nutrition, to your coaches over at Landau with Augie and Wrigley, like with what they're doing with your strength and conditioning is all in communication with Coach Mark and how that aligns with your training throughout the week. So I feel like that's something that not a lot of people really kind of get down to a system while they're young. They don't get that until they're maybe later into their mid to later 20s. You've been doing this way for a while now.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like what made me different from a lot of guys. You know, as an amateur, I was paying Tyler to send me meals, like a diet plan to follow and all that stuff, and I was kind of taking it professional. I was like, I'm trying to really change my life, but it's like you said, it's like I go in strength conditioning. It's like I just have less work to worry about. You know, I don't have to put so much pressure on myself. Be like, oh, well, I got to do this, or I got to lift, I got to do that. No, I don't. I just go in, ask questions, tell them how I feel, tell them my body, and they do the rest of the job for me. Even Mark is the same thing. Like, okay, like let's get you going this. Let's run one time a week. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. You know, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Your face popped up on all these polls at the end of last year on the Rookie of the Year list as a candidate for a lot of the different outlets for their end of the year award show.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, you don't pay attention to any of that, which is not a bad thing though either. But both you and Brandon were on a lot of those lists.
Oh, dope! Yeah, like I saw some. I shared some from Facebook that Brandon posted, but I don't.
Well, so that just goes ahead and shits all over my next question there.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, how did it feel to kind of get that notoriety and that recognition?
Man, it's I don't, like you said, like I told you, like I really, for one, I didn't even know that, like I didn't even knew that would happen. But I was like, for me to even,
that's why I said what
yeah,
I said. Just took the wind out of the sails of the question.
To see that stuff, and I'm like that's awesome, man. Like, yeah, like your work is paying off, but it's like we still not there yet, you know. Like I feel like it's like we just, at least me. I don't. Brandon's out there killing it. I was like, I feel like he's doing some great stuff, and that kind of like that motivates me, you know. I'm like, oh damn, like I want to be ranked in the next year, you know. Let's do it. But so for me, it's like I'm just happy and proud for my teammate, and I'm like, for me, I don't know. It's like I'm this is a kid. I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, I'm not so. That's why I feel like it's bad sometimes. You know, it's like positive and negative. You know, it's like I go in, I'm like, whatever. I'm not. That's not good. You know, I need better than that. But whatever. But sometimes like I need to sit down and be like, yeah, this is good. You are good. Like, let's take that. But you know, still learning that.
It's kind of crazy that in your debut, you pretty much were trying to give Brandon the shout out. You were trying to give Mr. Royval, Mr. Raw Dog. You were trying to give him that platform. You said, yeah, you know, you need to give my boy Brandon a chance. And lo and behold, he gets the chance and hits the ground running. So, you know, I feel like you kind of helped in your own way, helped grease it a little bit, grease the process.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know if I did, but I mean, would hope so.
Whether you did or not, the fact that it was something that was put in front of the public, and then the opportunity comes, and then he delivers, I feel like that is something that like the two of you are going to remember that as a special moment. You know, maybe not now, maybe it doesn't sink in that way, but you know, 15 years from now, you guys are going to look back on that moment and going to be like, man, like look at how young we were, just crazy in the world, just trying to make a splash, trying to make it, and we did.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, we're just out here trying to build memories, you know. I kind of enjoy life, you know. I was like, God, I think he's been training here since he was 16 years old. So I'm like, to see the success that he deserves, I feel like he really deserves, and put the outputs that he put. I literally had to kick him out today because he still trains, even with a a torn shoulder and a surgery that he had. So it was like, it's crazy how much stuff that he does. So I was like, it's pretty cool to see and kind of to be around that energy and to be around that atmosphere. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, definitely, man. So I want to ask you, now that you've had basically, you've been in the UFC for essentially a year, you also got to make a trip back home to Morocco since being back in the UFC.
Yeah, that's the first time back in Morocco.
How did that feel this last winter when you got to go back to Morocco after having 4 fights in the UFC, seeing success on a global stage, getting to fight over in Fight Island? You basically your pipeline expanded exponentially just throughout this last entire year as far as who you're reaching throughout the world. How did that feel going back home after getting the opportunity to do that?
Oh man, it was pretty cool. I went back home and a couple guys saw me and then jumped out of the car just to take a picture with me and stuff like that. So I was like, oh damn, I didn't even know that was that a big thing at all. But it's cool to kind of see the guys that want to do MMA now and really get involved in MMA and kind of they want to change their life. They're like, oh, we had a kid go from Morocco to here and really just made a life out of it, and that's where it makes me kind of happy, it's kind of to see that and really do that. But it's pretty cool though, man. I wish I could have stayed longer. I just stayed for 10 days. My sister got engaged, so I was kind of going there to kind of hang out with the family, help out my sister and my mom with anything they need, it's kind of be there for them, and then went back. So but definitely next time I go, I'll try to go for more, trying to really enjoy the family more and kind of hang out and enjoy Morocco more. I feel like I don't do that much there a lot. So it's usually just family. I'm always been a family guy. So
I mean, shit, bro. It's only the second time you've got to go back in
I know.
a decade.
Yeah,
so
10 years. Yeah, so that's crazy.
That's crazy. I'm sure there's only so much that you can get in such a small amount of time.
Oh yeah, it's 8 days because you fly out for 2 days basically, but you got to do what you got to do in that 8 days. You got to enjoy family as much as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So I want to ask you just something that you can leave it as high level as you want, or you can go as specific as you want. What can we expect to see from the Moroccan Devil this year in 2021?
I told this a lot to my manager and my wife. Actually, I told her this too. I was like, I'm at the mentality I don't know if you guys know the book, but The Art Not Giving a Fuck. That's where my mentality. That's where my mentality is at right now. It's and I feel like whenever I do that, I perform the best. And I don't know why. Like I said, in the beginning, I was I don't have that confident enough to say I am good enough. I am pretty good. You got to get on my level. Now I'm not in your level type of deal. So it's that's what I'm finding this year. And then again. Mark mixes to the word, and my word was challenge. For me, it's the biggest challenge is myself, and that's what I'm learning to find out and kind of balance it out. Not be too hard on myself, not to be that man. I remember last year when I lost, it was the hardest thing. Oh God, now just move on. Let's be better next fight. And that's where my mentality at, and especially after watching Max Holloway, that kind of convinced me to really just balance it out a little bit. So that's pretty cool to see, and that's what I'll tell you everybody expect. It's everybody except not that mentality, not giving a fuck, Youssef. So it'll be fun.
Oh, definitely. I have to ask you this because the internet continuously debates it. Is Max right now, as we stand, is Max as of today the greatest featherweight of all time? It's a short list of 2 people. It's either him or Jose.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, him and Jose.
But would you say that he has now, at this point, has he eclipsed Jose with some of the performances that he's put on? Some of the master clinics, when you start to think of the performances like the Cater fight, the fight against Brian Ortega. Those were just master clinics. The way that he beat Aldo in their 2 matchups.
I feel like it's he's the best featherweight in this decade. I feel like the last decade was Jose Aldo because Jose Aldo put a masterpiece against Chad Mendes. He put masterpiece against Uriah Faber. I mean, we can name on and on, but I feel like it's crazy how this decade's MMA sport, it's involving so goddamn much. Like, everybody's getting good at everything, but for him to be that good at that just one thing, and everybody knows they just can't just take him down. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'll take Max Holloway down. No, you're not. You know, like, that's what makes him, I feel like, very different than Jose Aldo. And I feel like, if the pace that he's going at, I don't see any featherweight coming close right now.
Interesting. What happens if you and Max meet someday?
It'll be a fun ass fight. I'll tell you that. I can't. That's like.
Oh, there's gonna be so much volume in that fight. So much movement.
I said, like, everybody asked me, like, who's your favorite fighter? I was like, Max Holloway. I was like, I always watch him. But so for me to even have that opportunity to fight, it'll be the dopest thing in the world.
Realistically speaking, with Max being where he's at in terms of, age, career, all that damage that he's taken throughout his career, do you think that by the time you get into title contention, which I would say you're probably projecting like 2022, around in there?
I hope so. I don't know. It's the only thing I don't try to
you don't try to
predict.
Think
that much.
Okay.
Which
is
I'll
fair.
predict the fight, but no.
Which is fair. I just question how long someone like Max continues to hold on at this point. You know what I mean? Like, someone who's already done so much. He's beat nearly everybody that you can possibly beat, aside from that one from Volkanovski that slipped away on the judges' scorecards. I don't think that he lost that.
Yeah, I don't think he lost either. Yeah,
but I just question sometimes. Does it come to almost like a Habib scenario where he's like, you know what, I've proven everything I need to prove. Deuces.
I don't know, man. The featherweight, I feel like the featherweight and the lightweight division is getting crazier and crazier. You got a guy he hasn't fought yet as a B. You got guys like, God, like, there's so many people coming up right now in the featherweight. I feel like you still got killers coming your way. It's not no easy matchups, So, especially from the 15 and up, like top 15 and up,
I'm off the Zabit wagon personally.
I'm just saying.
I'm off of it solely because his inactivity, like that just it drives me crazy. It's like, this guy has so much talent, and he wants to be in every title fight discussion at this point. But dude, you didn't fight the entire last year. Like, I understand that there was a lot of circumstances that went into some things. There was the fallouts of the Yair fights and all of that situation that went on, but nevertheless, you still have not stepped foot in the octagon in more than a year. So for me, if you really want to be in that, if you want that title fight, then you should be active fighting, proving your case for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm accurate in thinking that way. That's just kind of the way that my brain processes it. Unless you've done something like a Francis, unless you've done something like Max, who's currently sitting there. If I'm Max Holloway, I'm not taking another fight until I get a title shot. And that's simply because I've already proved enough at this point. That's just the way that I would be thinking. And by the performance that I just had against a Calvin Kattar, who was thought to be the dark horse of the division, was coming through sparking damn near everybody, and I outclassed him that way. Not only did I outclass that man, I set records and broke my own records in that fight in terms of strikes landed, overall output, significant strikes. I don't know, man. It's kind of a crazy thought.
I feel like his mentality, though, I feel like Max will fight anybody just to show, like, he is the best, and whatever it takes, I'll be in the belt. Like, I'll get my belt back. So that's what it is. But I feel like everybody has a bad day. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
Cam Kattar beat Zabit second round and third round, but he started out slow, and kind of third round started picking it up, and that's when Zabit was getting tired.
Right.
And kind of, if it went one more round, Kattar was going to win. But it just, I don't know. Everybody has a bad day, I guess. It's like this sport, But
crazy.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like you said, speaking of Zabit, I haven't seen him in so long, to fight in so long, but Yair as well. Like, I feel like he's been just off as well, just back and forth.
Still on that USADA shelf right now.
Oh, God, yeah. So it's like, there's some toss-ups in that division, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
They stirring it up. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yus, is there anything that you want to get out there to your friends, family, supporters, anybody?
Oh man, like I always say, a big shout out to all my family and supporters, man. Like I said, it's like to even have the support that I have and all the energy that I get from my family and the fans. It's a blessing in the sky, man. It keeps me moving every day. It keeps me moving.
Definitely, brother. Where can people follow you?
You guys can follow me at Moroccan Devil at Instagram. And then I don't use Twitter that much. I feel like I should not give my Twitter. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I always wanted to give Twitter. I was like, damn, I'm about to comment on this fight on Twitter. And I was like, my shit never gets on TV. I was like, that's bullshit. I was like, damn, bro.
They got Brandon on every week.
I know. I was like, damn, bro. I was like, I can't even. I guess I'm not ranked yet, bro. I gotta make some moves, dog. I gotta make some phone calls or something, man. I don't know. But that one is the Moroccan Devil _ 45. And then yeah, my name on Youssef Zalal on Facebook.
Awesome, brother. Any sponsors, anybody you want to throw a shout out to?
Oh yeah, man. Big thank you to Revivid CBD. They've been always helping me out, man. Last couple camps actually been getting a bunch of support from them and all that stuff. And Wolfpack as well. Wolfpack has been very helpful with me for the last 2 months right now. They've been really supportive and really keeping the energy going. So I'm very thankful for those two.
Awesome. Well, Yus, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Episode number 101.
Let's go!
So this is the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Kurtz. You can catch me weekly on Mile High Sports Radio. That is from 7 to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You can catch the replay on demand at any time at denversportsbetting.com. Check out all the podcast episodes at the MMAplug.com. Give us a follow at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Thank you so much for following along, and we will see you next time.